Travers, ABC News correspondent at the White House. Karen Travers, never a dull moment in your world, is there?
Never. Now, we got another Twitter feud brewing with the president.
All right. So last week, Donald Trump did a very good thing. He brokered a release of the UCLA basketball players, which is nothing more than a very easy win for the president. But even this isn't an easy win for him.
And he seems upset that he wasn't getting more credit from the father of one of these athletes. So President Trump lands in China a day after these 3 basketball players are arrested for shoplifting. ESPN had reported there was surveillance video capturing them doing this at 3 different high-end luxury stores in China. And the president later in the trip says that he had talked to China's President Xi about it and that, he helped get this worked out so that they could be released to come back to the United States. One of the players is LaVar Ball, whose brother is now a big shot rookie in the NBA, and his father is not someone who shies away from the spotlight. So over the weekend, LaVar Ball, the father, basically, didn't give the president credit in an interview, saying, who? President Trump? He didn't do anything. Well, the president did not like that and tweeted yesterday that he should have left them in jail. Quote, I should have left them in jail. And he says that he should have gotten them out on his next trip to China, which, of course, isn't even scheduled yet. So certainly making the point, he would have just let them sit there with these allegations hanging over their head.
In one sense, Karen Travers, none of this means anything. Mm-hmm. But in the other sense, it just seems unseemly that the president would do something like this.
It's an interesting, kind of window into his mindset of, with all of the headlines that could be tweeted about, that the president was paying attention to this interview that LaVar Ball did on Saturday, and that he was clearly irked by it, and wanted to get a little bit more appreciation for what he says he did. Last night, one of our colleagues here reached LaVar Ball by phone. He hadn't seen those tweets yet. He read them to Ball, and he kind of took it up a notch. And he said, well, did the president go visit them in jail? If he had, then he would say thank you. No response yet from the president, but I would think he's going to respond to that. I mean, this is one of those ones where the president could keep coming back to this. It wouldn't surprise me if he just tweets about it, once every couple of days just to make a point.
The 3 players held a news conference Friday, and all 3 thanked lots of people, including President Trump by name.
Yeah. Right. But, he is keyed in on this father, who is somebody that he's doing a reality show. He loves the spotlight. This is great that the president is tweeting his name personally to millions and millions of followers. So it's in LaVar Ball's interest to kind of keep this going, too. These are 2 people who certainly enjoy the spotlight, and it's kind of a feud made in social media heaven.
Mr. Ball doesn't have a vote on the tax cut, but Jeff Flake,
so far he does not. Right.
But Jeff Flake does, and Donald Trump's going after Jeff Flake on Twitter too.
And the response then, I think, from Flake's team was we're looking at this on the merits of it. We're not going to get dragged into this. Why is the president tweeting about this? But kind of revisiting an old favorite feud from a couple weeks ago. We haven't heard from the president about Jeff Flake in a couple of weeks. Certainly, he had a lot on his plate while in Asia, but maybe there was something he read or saw that triggered that. Yeah.
Anything big this week? It's Thanksgiving week. Anybody in Washington working on this tax bill?
Not, behind the scenes, but not a ton of official movement that we'll see. Congress is taking the holiday, of course. The president's actually heading down to Florida tomorrow to spend the holiday weekend with family. And tomorrow is one of my favorite events here at the White House over the years, the annual turkey pardon, the greatest potential for live television or radio, because you have 2 live turkeys here at the White House who don't necessarily get the playbook of how to behave when you come to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So president's going to do it.
So you travel the world with the president, and you're inside the bubble, and you're a witness to all sorts of history, and your favorite day is the turkey pardon.
It is for President Obama. This was like his day where he did his peak dad jokes. I mean, like he rolled out the whole repertoire of corny turkey puns, and his daughters would stand there and roll their eyes to the point where last year, his final year of doing the turkey pardon, Sasha and Malia didn't even come. They just said they were busy with school stuff and let their cousins go out and hang out with the president instead. So this is always good. Google President Bush and turkey pardon. Look for some photos. There's some great ones there. You will not be disappointed.
That's why we get everything, every single morsel of information from Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. Karen, have a good week. Thanks.